Okay, let's get started.
Ghosts are real. That much I know.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Manda. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my full review with spoilers of the science fiction horror thriller No One Will Save You. This one just got released today, September 22 on Hulu. Now, as always, all my reviews are with spoilers. If you don't want them, just to see if this was worth it or not, on the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review, because I like to give you guys the two options. So given that little disclaimer, let's get into the video. Now, No One Will Save You follows an exiled, anxiety-ridden homebody must battle an alien who's found its way into her home. And to give a brief summary of the story, the film is just 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's quite short, and it opens telling us a little bit about the protagonist, that is Breen. We have the first 20 minutes that we are seeing her life. She lives isolated from everybody. We see that she's having a hard time getting out of her house, and at first it looks like she just has anxiety for leaving her house, and we see that she keeps avoiding everybody in town when she gets to drop some packages, and she also visits her mom's grave. But then we realize that essentially everybody hates her. The reason behind this is not going to be revealed until the very end, but we have some hints throughout on the film. When she returns home, we see that she is writing a letter to her best friend Maud, but by the content of the letter, we can see that something has happened between these two, and she's trying to apologize and reach out to her. And she spends the rest of the day cooking, and she's practicing some dance routines, and she ends up reading a book and then gets to sleep. It's in the middle of the night that the aliens make their first appearance. Like I said, we are in the first 20 minutes, so it's very quick that we jump into the action. The aliens, they're going to make their appearance one by one. At first, it's just a solo, and then we have a group of them, and they have some variations in terms of the height. We're going to be seeing aliens in a very classic design, very tall, lean, greenish, and with the black eyes, almost elongate, and a big head. That's the type of aliens we're going to be seeing. Also the fingers are kind of weird in a sense, but they are made in CGI, and they look kind of funny. As the aliens are in Breen's house, she's trying her best to defend herself since she has no one to call, and also since she's isolated from everybody else, the chances of her getting help are very low. So this only increases the tension and the feeling of what the hell is going to happen. She's able to escape the aliens this time, but they mess her car and also her phone, so she needs to get in her bicycle, and she gets onto the police station. While she is passing throughout the houses and her neighbors, she finds a USPS truck upside down. She sees some circles that are on the yards, a same circle that she saw the day previous in her own yard. And when she gets to the police station, encounters her best friend's parents, because he is a cop. We know this because she sees them previously, and she tells to her best friend in the letter that she saw her parents. The mother spits into her face and leaves, and the father doesn't say anything. This only brings more questions as to what the hell is happening, why everybody is hating her, what happened with the best friend, what is happening. We have so many questions, but luckily we get the answer. She has no courage to go to the police after this, so she just returns home, and the aliens reappear. During the night, we see the aliens once again, since they want to retrieve the corpse of one of them, since Breen was able to kill the one that was inside of her house. They get the corpse and they get after her, but unfortunately she loses this battle and she gets abducted by them. When she is about to, she wakes up in her bed, and for a moment it looks like it was just a dream and nothing really happened. But when she wakes up and starts looking throughout the house, she sees herself on a younger version with her mother. Then we see her with her best friend, and this is when we have the explanation of what happened. Essentially, they were having a fight of what we don't know, we don't really hear it, but what we do see is that the best friend pushes Bryn to the ground, and when Bryn is about to get up, she grabs a rock and hits her best friend with the rock in her head, killing her. So she killed her best friend. The reason why she's isolated is almost by force, because everyone hates her because of it. We don't know what happened, if she was found guilty or if she was a kid and nothing really happened to her and she didn't went to jail. Those are details that are not really explained. But what we do know is that she has been living with the guilt ever since. So that's why she is the way she is. But when she is seeing herself as an outsider, we see that she is finally forgiven herself. She is leaving behind that self-guilt and all the emotions that she felt because of it, and she almost looks like she wants to move on and finally have a happier life. We see all the aliens that are crowding her now in the spaceship, and when the lights start to go up, we see that her body drops to the road and she is returned home. The next day, she is helping the neighbors fixing up the houses. They wave at each other, and their neighbor and her are dancing, and we see that she is happy. She's having the best time of her life, and everything looks too good to be true. Well, the film ends with her looking directly at the camera for a brief moment. Then she turns up and keeps dancing, and when the camera starts goes up, we see that we have many UFOs in the sky. And that's how the film ends. Getting very quickly into the review, the first thing I want to say about this film is that they do not speak. They do not say a single word. The only thing that we hear is and the breathings. That's all that we hear is those type of expressions when you're out of air or when she's breathing because she has anxiety. That's the only thing that we actually hear, because just like A Quiet Place, we never hear a word from any of the characters. In comparison to A Quiet Place, where being silent was a huge part of the plot, here is not really a part of the plot because she can't speak. But I feel that they decided to just do it that way to bring another aspect to this type of film, because at the end of the day, it's a home invasion thriller mixed with sci-fi and horror. Because the film is not 100% horror, but definitely has horror elements, and the sequence with the aliens, they can be very scary and very tense. But having the silence only adds more. Green is portrayed by Caitlin Devers, and she was amazing here. Because in this type of films, you need to have someone that is going to be able to project every single emotion, is going to be able to tell something with the body language and the face. Because right now you can't speak. So how you're going to project, how you're going to be able to connect with the audience if you're not speaking? Well, here, of course, we never hear her speak, but it's the body language, is the facial expressions. Everything works perfectly, so you're not going to feel lost. You're not even going to miss the fact that she is not speaking. So for me, she was the right choice for the part. Also, the sound effects and the soundtrack is very, very good, and it's crucial since now that we have the silence, you need to fill the background with something. And in the case of the sound effects of the aliens, they're creepy as hell. Because at first, we have no idea what it is inside of our house. But as soon as we see the body and we see the feet, of course, now we know what it is. And it's the sounds of when he's walking, and also the sounds that they make. It's very, very creepy, and it really adds to the build-up of the tension. The film comes to a point that it's tense, and you're dying to know why she is the way she is, what is happening, why the aliens are there. We're having so many questions. But the film is never predictable. This is something that I truly loved about it. Is starts as your typical home invasion film and quickly turns into something new and something that feels enjoyable, something that feels fresh. That's something that I truly like it. I really like it. The ending, I feel that the ending can be open to interpretation a little bit, but in my case and my way to seeing it is that she never left the spaceship. And it's all in her head, and this is just the aliens playing to her an alternate version of her life, but she's going to stay with the aliens forever. What is going to happen to her and every single one of the people in town that were also abducted, we have no idea. We have very little to no explanation about the aliens. We don't know from when they're coming from, what they want. They're just taking people away. And it's not always necessary to have every single detail about it, because sometimes the unknown can be scarier. So the fact that we have no information about the aliens, it wasn't an issue. My only issue with the film is the design of the aliens. Like I said, it's very classic, but it's all in CGI. There are some moments when they are very close to the camera that they look pretty fake and also kind of funny. And they don't look realistic, and I think that is the only thing that takes away from the film, because everything feels pretty realistic, even with the fact that we're dealing with aliens, but they just feel fake. In comparison to Nope, for example, that we have the UFO in the sky. Of course, we know that this is all fiction, but it feels very real, because the alien looks very real. But in the case of this ones, they don't. So that will be the only issue for me. But for the rest, I really enjoyed this film a lot. It's a film that I would rewatch, and it's actually perfect to watch now during October and the spooky season. So if you like this type of films, it's a must watch. But for me, this film will be 3.5 out of 5. It's not excellent, of course. It has some flaws, but I have seen more positive things than negative. The only negative thing will be the aspect of the aliens. But for the rest, I really enjoyed everything else. So for me, this one is a recommendation. Like I said, it's not 100% horror, but definitely has some horror elements. And with this, I conclude the review and the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you saw it, what you thought, did you like it, you didn't. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Ghosts are real. That much I know.